Hello my lovelies, welcome to Kieron's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making crumpets. So really wonderful breakfast, lunch item, lots of butter and jam, or you can put cheese and make a bacon sandwich out of them. Let's get started. So we want the perfect environment for our yeast. So we've got warm water and we've warmed up our milk gently. So it wants to be basically body temperature, room temperature, somewhere around 70 degrees is perfect. We're going to drop our water in. Then we're going to drop our milk in, and then we're going to add our yeast. So we have instant high active yeast first, dried yeast going in here. We've then got some sugar to feed our yeast, give it something to get started with. We've got our salt for seasoning. We've got our freshly ground black pepper, so none of that pre-ground stuff, freshly milled or in a pestle and mortar. Then we're adding our second leavener. This is going to be our baking powder. So in here, this will help with the rise. And then we're also going to take about 2 tablespoons of our flour that we've got weighed out for our next step in there. That'll give the yeast something to start to eat on. We're going to put it on a low speed, dropping the KitchenAid down. We've got our dough hook in. We'll do this for about 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to scrape down about halfway. So this is the stage where you want to wait about 5 minutes. You want to see nice active bubbles. But if you're impatient like I am and in our house, as long as you're seeing some yeast starting up, we're going to add the rest of our flour in at this point. So just gradually adding a spoonful at a time. So we've got our first spoon in, relock it. I'm going to start it on about 4 points. So 1 spoon at a time. So if we have a look at our dough quickly, you can see that clearly we've got all those active little bubbles up there. And so this is the stage we're going to add our lemon zest in there. So you got our zester and lemon going in. Perfect. And then we'll put the rest of that flour. So this is what we're looking for. We've got a nice bubbling mix. The next step we want to take is letting the dough proof, and so this one's really important. So we've got our dough fully mixed, and we're going to place it into a nice bowl, and then cover it and put it into a warm spot. So if you're wondering what that is, it's somewhere in your house that's going to be around 70 degrees. For us, we're going to put it right next to the stove. We're going to put a lid over it. I've got a little shower cap here, but honestly a little bit of cling film would be fine, or another bowl on top would be perfect. I'm going to set a timer for an hour. So an hour later, we're going to have a quick look at it. And so for us, we can see all these major large bubbles forming inside the dough, and it looks much airier and lighter than it was. That means we're ready to start cooking, and we'll go get the pan nice and hot. So we want to make sure our pan stays non-stick for us, so we're going to brush it with a little bit of olive oil. So I've got a small dish of oil, a little bit of paper towel, and I'm going to dab it into each nook and cranny of our pan. So for those of you who don't have the large mini cake pan, don't worry. I'm sure you've got a ball jars kicking around in the cupboard somewhere, and if you take off the rings, they're perfect. These are actually a really universal tool you can use in the kitchen for lots of things. Cut up cookies, use them to bake sponges, really good for frying eggs, and in this case, great for a crumpet. For us, we're going to oil the inside of the ring, just like we did with the molds. And then we're going to get a little bit of oil onto our pan and then bring that to a medium heat. For us, when we use them like this, we're going to put it so the lid is at the top, and then we're going to pour the mix right into each one. So our pan's nice in a medium heat now. We're going to get the batter in there. So one of the rare occasions you'll see me with a cup measurer, but we're going to use 1/3 of a cup to fill each dish, and so we'll also need a little butter knife, and so this is going to be able to scrape it off clean. So you're going to scoop in your mix, scrape it to one side, cleaning it up, and then straight in. You just hear a gentle sizzle happening underneath it, and then you're going to fill each one. As soon as we filled each one, we're going to set a timer for 8 minutes. Okay, so our timer is going for 8 minutes, and we're going to keep rotating the pan every 2 minutes as it cooks. So it's been about 8 minutes and we've kept rotating. At this stage, we're now going to flip them over. So you should have a little bit of wobble of dough left in the center. I'm gonna flip it right over. Now we're gonna put another pan on top. If you're lucky enough to have a second one of these Lodge mini pans, that's really the perfect thing. And so we're looking at something like this, going all the way right onto the top to make an airtight fit. If you don't have something like this, a sheet tray on top or even tin foil is perfect. This will help keep the moisture in and allow us to bake it. This is now going to go in the oven for about 15 minutes, and then we'll pull it out and let it rest for another 15 minutes. It's been a good 15 minutes now. I'm going to get them out of the oven. All right, so that clamshell's really helped to keep the moisture in for us. So let's take this guy off. Look at those beauties. So if you look at them, they're nice and springy and soft. And if we take these guys out, see that lovely color is on both sides now for us. And what we want to do now, it's really difficult, is wait another 15 minutes. If you don't and you want to eat them right now, they're just going to be a little doughy. You need them to finish cooking, so that residual heat in the Lodge pan is going to really help cook them like this. And so we're going to wait a good 15 minutes now. So I might have mentioned it earlier, but crumpets need lots of butter. So that structure that we've got inside the crumpet has a lot of sponginess to it. And so in here is all the spaces that you can get that butter in. So if you look at this, it's probably about 30 grams of butter, or like 2 tablespoons of butter going on there. And then we've also got some strawberry jam to go on the top. Enjoy.